And on the eighth day, God looked down on his planned paradise and decided he needed someone trifling, cantankerous, and self-righteous. Someone willing to create quarrels where none existed and to make existing quarrels as lengthy, painful, and expensive as possible. So God made a lawyer. God wanted someone who would take on $200,000 in student loan debt and then dream up crazy new legal theories in the hope of forcing companies into lucrative settlements instead of going through the nightmarish quagmire of litigation, just to help pay off the absurd amount of debt that person had assumed. So God made a lawyer. God wanted someone who would yank a doctor from her health clinic and depose her for 2 weeks, charge a client hundreds of dollars per hour to read thousands of pages of documents that have nothing to do with the case, and file dozens of motions with the court that have absolutely no chance of succeeding. So God made a lawyer. God wanted someone who would teach neighbors to be fearful of one another, teachers to be afraid to console a distraught student, communities to remove playground equipment that brought much joy and exercise to children, doctors to order unnecessary tests, and to force low profit margin companies to close their doors and fire all their employees. So God made a lawyer. God wanted someone who would expand the tax code to hundreds of thousands of pages that no one can comprehend or comply with, to draft onerous regulations so vague that no one can follow them, and create so much law that a 5-story library could only hold a small fraction of the law that applied in the Promised Land. So God made a lawyer. And even though a relatively small, understandable body of law applied fairly to all persons was critical to the happiness and economic success of the common people in the Promised Land, God wanted someone willing to expand the law to incomprehensible scope, make the rules of court so complex that even the simplest quarrel would take years to resolve, make justice inconsistent and unpredictable, and consolidate an extraordinary amount of power, privilege, and wealth in the hands of a small fraction of the people. So God made a lawyer.